Good evening and welcome to the latest of the Cheltenham Exchange Ante-Post videos. Tonight we're going to have a look at some of the novice hurdles and novice chasers a little later on. But before we delve into it, first of all, we've got to say we're absolutely, well, surprised and over the moon to have already hit over 1,000 views on our video. So we can't thank you all enough. And please keep the likes and views coming, and remember to subscribe below. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the race that kicks off the festival, the Supreme Novice. Won last year, obviously, I appreciate it, and probably one of the most talked about races for this coming festival so far, with several contenders at the top of the market who are probably looking to be champion hurdle potentials for next year, challenging Honeysuckle. So we'll kick off with Matty tonight, and I'm sure he's got plenty of thoughts on this one for us.
Yeah, I mean, I was having a look through it earlier on. I've got a few things to say about a few of them, so might as well just get started. I can't have Constitution Hill, as you all know. I just can't take to the horse, even though he's high up on the list on the trends. I don't feel he'll be good enough come March, and the Tolworth winners don't have the best record in the Supreme. People are on at bigger prices, and they will be more than happy with an each-way angle, I'm sure. However, I wouldn't back him with your money, John, let alone my own. Willie Mullins has got a decision to make, though, in regards to what to do with Dysart Dynamo. Will he go double-barrelled at the first race with the two outstanding horses with excellent credentials with him and Sir Gerhard? Or will he look to split them up and try and pick up this race and the Ballymore on the Wednesday too? Dysart Dynamo did win his bumper over 2 mile 2 furlongs. He will most likely look to split them up, and only he will know right up until the final declarations which way he'll do it. I think he'll put Dysart Dynamo in the Ballymore. Unlike Nicky Henderson, he's known for running 2 horses he likes in the same race at the Supreme. And that leads us on to Jonbon, who's done little wrong so far, after coming with huge hype following his price tag and also being Duvan's brother. I've seen a lot of people on Twitter not impressed with Jonbon last time out at Haydock, and I'm not completely sure why. Thought he was given a ride to learn to settle and learn to race. He travelled into the race well enough on what looked like horrible ground. He jumps very well. He jumped into the back of Donny Boy, I think it was, at 2 out, which checked his momentum. He still managed to quicken to reach the leaders and then quicken again when hitting the front. He is the one out of him and Constitution Hill that I believe will be able to serve it up to the Irish challengers. We've got Mighty Potter. He's currently around 16 to 1 for this race, and I still can't believe he is as big as that. After putting him up at 50 to 1 earlier in the season, still think 16 to 1 is way too big. He won his maiden hurdle very well. He then ran okay and finished 3rd in the Royal Bond, when he didn't look to settle the best but picked up near the end. And then he won the Grade 1 Future Champions Novice Hurdle at Christmas, beating 3 Stripe Life by 1.5 lengths. Then went on to run well behind Sir Gerhard at the Dublin Racing Festival, 3 Stripe Life, finishing 6 lengths behind him. Still think there is some each-way juice in it at 16 to 1 for Mighty Potter. And I think the stronger gallop over 2 mile will play to his strength, and expecting to be finishing strong up the hill. And my last say is, I'll move on to Sir Gerhard. I personally think he is the stronger of the Willie Mullins team for this race, out of himself and Dysart Dynamo. Yes, Sir Gerhard's jumping wasn't perfect last time out at the Dublin Racing Festival. And I'm sure he'll learn from that and have plenty of schooling between then and when we hear the Cheltenham Roar on the Tuesday. However, to put in a performance like that and win the way he did, even with the mistakes, shows he has some engine. I'm probably biased towards him though, as you know, I just love him and backed him to the hill last festival. The age is a slight worry against the trends with him being 7. That didn't stop appreciating last year. John, we got him covered in that 2021 bumper and any novice hurdle 2022 market at nice odds. If he's anywhere near 4-1 on the day in March, I'll quite happily steam into him again.
Okay. Great stuff. Pretty comprehensive stuff there from Matty. John, take it away. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, Matty's touched on quite a few things, but yeah, like you said, it's definitely going to be one of the hottest races of the festival, with some really good types coming here. I'm still unsure of what Mullins will do with his. Well, he's got 3 or 4 really. He's got Sir Gerhard, Dysart, Kilcrut, and also State Man that are probably all in the mix. So he needs to split them up somehow. I've got a feeling he might be Sir G and Kilcrut here. Dysart going up to the Ballymore, and then State Man might end up in a handicap or something. But yeah, going on to Sir G first. I liked his performance last time at the Dublin Racing Festival. His jumping was a little bit off, but he won quite well in the end. You know, he beat all the right horses in that race for me, which is more than any of the other candidates have done so far. He's got to come here. I mean, he's won a Supreme Trial. He's got course and distance form over 2 miles, you know, from last year in the bumper. And to be fair, last year, he didn't look like he was pulling away up the hill either. You know, he looked like 2 miles was like bang on for him, absolutely ideal. So I'm not sure why people are saying he's the one to step up, because 2 mile 5, I think, will stretch him. So the 2 miles is, you know, it's spot on. I just think he's got a perfect mix of speed and stamina for the race. So, yeah, he'll be the one for me. But sort of just going through the others, I also like Jonbon's last time out performance at Haydock. You know, it was on a bad ground. And not a lot of horses go well at Haydock. It's a funny old track. So I thought he did well. He met all sorts of trouble in running. He kicked on when he was asked to. You know, he found off the bridle. I just thought it was a good performance, to be fair. We know out of all of the main players, he's the one that's found off the bridle, really. So, you know, I think he's got a good chance. Daiso Dynamo, again, he looks like he's got a huge engine, but he's the one for me to step up. Like I said earlier, because like Matty said, his bumper was over 2 mile 2. And he wasn't stopping last time either. So I think the 2 mile 5 would be perfect for him. He's got a hell of an engine by the look of him. I just think that'll be, you know, his race. Constitution Hill, he's been impressive in his races, but they've been on deep ground, both at Sandown. And also Jetoile, who was behind him last time, didn't really frank his form at the weekend. He was last in the Betfair Hurdle, you know, so he was quite a way behind. Well, if you look back at Jonbon, I like to move it. Was it he ran in the Betfair Hurdle? I think he was second as well. So his form's been franked a lot more than Constitution Hill's, to be honest. So
Napper's Hill was there or thereabouts as well.
Yeah, and he was behind him as well, wasn't he? So
yeah.
I think Jonbon's form now is arguably better than Constitution Hill after the weekend. But yeah, like I said, Sir G for me. Jonbon probably staying on his second would be my sort of ideal finish. So, yeah, they're the 2 I'd take for this one, OJ.
Okay, great stuff. Ian?
Not much I can add, to be honest. I backed Sir Gerhard quite a while back at quite a nice price. So I've got him covered. So I had him last year in the bumper as well. But the more I keep looking at Jonbon, the more I think he's the one for me. So the guys have just said about at the weekend, I like to move it, and Napper's Hill kind of frank the form. But there's also one, Colonel Mustard, that franks to both of them, franks Sir G and franks Jonbon, and they've beaten both. Not much to say with Dysart as well, looking at Willys, as John said, possibly having 4 up. I think Dysart will go to the Ballymore. I'm maybe talking from my pocket, but I've backed it for the Ballymore, and I think it will go now. And just going back to Constitution Hill, as the guy said, it's won by 12 lengths and 14 lengths, not come off the bridle. Has it had a tough race? Maybe not. But Jonbon, say, did come off the bridle when his last win. Maybe battle hardened a bit more than some of the others. So it's Jonbon would be the one for me.
There's been a lot of hype around Constitution Hill, hasn't there? No doubt about it. But
of course.
Yeah. listening to you guys, I would say, we're looking as a consensus probably between Sir Gerhard and Jonbon. So,
don't forget Mighty Potter.
Mighty Potter, yes.
Mighty Potter ahead of me. I think Mighty Potter ahead of all the English. I'll Sir Gerhard, Mighty Potter. I just think the Irish, their form it's stronger than the English. So,
well, one I backed a while ago was my mate Mozzie, and it's won its first 1 or 2, and then it's just faded.
Still in there. It's about 33 to 1.
You mentioned about
might as well be 300 to 1.
Giving a very curious ride last time out.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned the Colonel Mustard linking in the form.
Yeah, just a pair
Jonbon beat Colonel Mustard 2 3/4 lengths when he was eased down, and Sir G beat Colonel Mustard by 12 lengths. So,
do you think?
I was quite looking forward to watching that JPR 1 on Saturday, but that obviously disappointed, and I've been watching Tizard's form, but that went out the window in that Ladbrokes Hurdle as well.
Yeah, he found nothing off the bridle at all, JPR 1, because I backed him Ante-Post for that. 12 to 1, just found diddly squat.
Yeah.
Very disappointed.
Okay, fellas, so if I ask you for one selection each, go through quickly, Matty.
You want one, then it's got to be Sir Gerhard win, but I think Mighty Potter will be there or thereabouts.
That's 2.
Sir Gerhard, then.
Sir Gerhard. John?
Sir Gerhard for me.
Sir Gerhard and the Rain Man?
Jonbon for me.
Jonbon for Ian. Okay, so that's the opening race to the festival. Thoughts on the Supreme, and we'll move on to our next video soon enough.